Yeah, I can go first. Hi, I'm Charu. I'm a senior studying computer science at Cornell University. I'm originally from California, but right now I'm going to school in New York.
And Ashley?
Hey everyone, my name is Ashley. I'm a sophomore studying electrical engineering and computer science at UC Berkeley. And I'm originally from Rockville, Maryland, so right outside Washington, D.C.
All right, so basically the point of the breakout rooms is for like any of you guys to ask any specific questions you want to, and then the panelists can answer them. So you can just like put them in the chat or unmute your mic or private message me or like anything works. I can like start us off. So what do you like about your major or the specific classes that you're taking, and what are some unique opportunities that your program offers?
Yeah, so I guess one of the things that I really like is that as a part of like my major and program, I have to take classes that are not computer science related and not engineering related. And I think Cornell does a really good job of offering classes that are like all over the place. So my favorite class that I've taken is actually not a computer science class, but a class called Human Bonding, that's listed in the Human Development School. And so I think that's something that I really like about the program. And opportunity wise, something Cornell specific that I think is really cool is that we have these things called project teams. And they're basically like student run teams that have some concentration. And they're usually all engineering specific. So we've had like Cornell car racing team, and their like goal is to build a car, and then they compete at the end of the semester. We have a rocketry club. We have a racing team, and then like computer science specific. We have a app dev team, and the one that I'm on is called Hack for Impact, and we develop tech for nonprofits. And so I think these are like some of the unique programs that are in Cornell that I really like, and they're like some of the reasons why I applied to this school as well.
Yeah, so some things I like about Berkeley are, I guess like in terms of like curriculum, one thing about Berkeley is that like they only have like one offering of like each class, like a semester. Like if you're taking like the like 61A, which is our intro computer science course, like everyone takes the exact same lecture. There's only like one lecture and everyone takes it. So that leads to some like pretty large class sizes. Our intro class is like around 2,000 people, which I wasn't worried about at first, but actually I come to really like it because since there's so many people in the class, that means like it's very easy to find someone else who's also taking the class and like find people to study with and like reach out to about like homework, and since everyone's essentially in the same lecture, like everyone's on the same page. And also there's a big emphasis on like computer science education, so like all the classes are very well run, like they're very well thought out. You don't ever have uh like assignments like not working on you or anything, or like having like a typo or anything like that. Like you can tell they put a lot of like thought and effort into it. And in terms of like opportunities, I think one thing unique to Berkeley is the emphasis on like startup culture, especially since we're in the Bay Area. I have a bunch of like friends who like are trying to like do their own startup like while in college, so that's really like cool to watch. And they also have a program called like Berkeley Skydeck, which allows you to like intern at like Silicon Valley Bay Area startups, and by like applying through that program. And we also have things similar to like the project teams at Cornell. We have like different like tech. It's more entrepreneur consulting based. So we have like tech consulting clubs where you can join these clubs to get like hands-on experience with like building different projects. Like for example, I'm in a ML club, so we're working on building like different ML products. Like for example, this semester I'm working on uh, a like voice assistant that is you can personalize put, uh, by putting your like own voice into it.
So I see like questions in the chat, so you guys can just like answer them. And also, I'd encourage participants to turn on their camera if they're comfortable with it. I feel like it just really helps everyone. And you guys can just like pick questions off the chat that you want to answer.
So it looks like the first question is, did you have any coding experience prior to pursuing computer science? And I can start by answering that. I had a bit of like coding experience prior to pursuing computer science. Like I took AP Java in high school, and I was involved in my school's computer team. I did a bit of competitive programming and computer, like teaching other people computer science. But it definitely is. It definitely isn't as much as like when I got to Berkeley. Like I feel like what I learned at Berkeley, like within like one semester at Berkeley, was way more than everything I learned like prior to like attending college, in terms of like computer science. And I think it can be a bit difficult to like break into computer science without any prior coding experience. But there are a lot of like resources there to like, help you.
Yeah, so I had minimal coding experience, I think. I also took the APCS class, but I think that was it. I was in a robotics team, but most of my focus was like in the hardware, like mechanical side of it. I think you don't really need to have CS experience. I've met people like who are freshmen right now who have built apps, but I've also met people who have never like coded anything at all. And the intro to Python class is the first CS experience they've had. So I feel like, I feel like if you're interested in it, that's like enough to pursue like a major because you'll definitely learn more within your first semester here. And I guess I can also answer the second question. What extracurriculars did I do in high school? So something that I was really involved in was Girl Scouts. So I did a lot of volunteer work, and like, my like gold award and all that stuff. And I did all of that through Girl Scouts. I was also on my school's cross country team, and I did robotics as well.
I can also answer this question. Um, like I said, I did a few like STEM extracurriculars. I was on my school's robotics team, and also was on the school's computer team. But like outside of that, I also did a lot of like journalism and writing. I was like an editor for my school's newspaper and the literary like arts magazine, and so that was pretty fun. And I think it shows that like you don't have to do like fully like STEM extracurriculars, like or like um if you want to do like computer science or any other STEM field, like you can do like a variety of like different like types of like extracurriculars, and colleges will still like look highly upon it.
Another question is like, how would you generally describe the type of people in your program? Like, are they competitive, friendly, a mix, stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's generally a mix of people. I think in a lot of my intro computer science class, it can be kind of intimidating seeing all these people who have had so much experience, and then you're coming in with like barely knowing anything. And so there are definitely people who are competitive and like very yeah, like very competitive. But there are also like a lot of people, you just have to look and you'll find like the other people. Most of my friends are all like very collaborative, definitely like work together on problem sets and things like that. So there's like a variety of people within your program. It's kind of up to you, like which type of people you want to identify with and like hang out with. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like I said, since like there's a lot of people at Berkeley, like there's no like one type of person defining like CS program. It really just depends on who you like choose to hang out with and who you surround yourself on. I think before Berkeley has a like reputation for being like really cutthroat, so I was like kind of like worried about like coming into this program, like how like I was worried I would have to like fend for myself and like not have any support. But it turns out the people here are actually really supportive. Like my friends and I are always willing to like help each other out on homeworks and problem sets, and it's like super collaborative. And, like one time, I was asking someone for help for like my physics homework, and the way it works is like you have like 5 attempts to get it right, and if you don't get it right within 5 attempts, like you don't get any like credit for that answer. And I had a friend who used all 5 attempts and couldn't figure it out, but like figured out after like their like attempts were up, and while I was still like working on that problem, and they were still willing to like help me like walk me through like how to solve that problem, even though they wouldn't be getting any credit for it. And I thought that was really like touching.
Another question, like what major specific endeavors do you think people can do to boost their resume or their application? So maybe things like coding projects or anything like that.
Yeah, I think like no matter what you do, I don't think you specifically need to do anything major specific. It just needs to be something that you're passionate about or something that you're very like invested in. Like personally, my biggest thing on my resume wasn't that I like was in a robotics team, but it was that I did a lot of volunteer work in the community. So I think you don't need to do anything major specific, but if it's something that you're interested in, like you want to learn more about machine learning, like by all means, definitely pursue, do like a self-taught project, but don't feel like you need to have something on your resume that's like tech specific.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I don't think you need to have like super extensive computer science knowledge going to college. Like, I think they understand that like a lot of people are beginners and like a lot of people don't have the same resources in their high school to like pursue computer science to the same extent. So I think I definitely agree that you should just pursue what you're like passionate about. And if you like see something that you're like really interested in, like I guess like machine learning or like app development, you can like look onto it like on your own.
Yeah, and kind of like as a follow-up, how was the general like application process like? Or what are some specific things you think like might have made you stand out compared to other applicants?
Um, I think like for me, like what really helped was I actually got in like through the wait list. So I had to like write an additional essay like to get in off the wait list. And I was basically like it was basically like a why Berkeley essay. And then I think what really helped me was like emphasizing um just like talking about emphasizing like what I did and like I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. Yeah, just like I try to like emphasize like who I am and like why exactly like and try to connect it to like why I wanted to go to Berkeley. And like for example, I didn't like try to be like a uh like super insane like computer science person. Like I acknowledge like I do computer science things, but I'm also interested in other things. So I wrote about like on my journalism and like writing experience as well. So I think that being like honest about that like really helped.
Yeah, I think I don't have much to add to what Ashley said. I also did not write about something tech related for my essays. But one thing I do recommend is doing research about the school you're applying to. In my essay specifically about Cornell, I mentioned the project teams that we have here, and about like specific research that I saw was going on in Cornell that I thought was kind of cool. So like just show that you're willing to take the extra step and like you really care about the school and you really want to go there. That's what I would suggest.
And Judia, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but has a question in the chat. I think you guys already answered this a little bit, but like maybe you can talk more about like the school environment and culture.
Yeah, I think personally, I love the environment that we have here. It is fast paced. At times, it can be a little bit competitive, but overall, like, no one, everyone is here to help you succeed. Like, they want to see you get a job, they want to see you like pursue your passions and everything. And like the other thing that I was like very surprised to see when I got here was that there really is a place for everyone. Like my two main interests were volunteering and doing like computer science and technology. And I found a club that develops tech for nonprofits, and that's like perfect. And it's exactly what I wanted to do. And so I think that's something that I really like about the school environment is that there's like something for everybody and everyone's just here to help you succeed.
Yeah, I don't really think I have that much to add. To this question, like I said, there's like a really big like sort of entrepreneurship culture. Like a lot of people try to combine like tech, like CS and business, CS and entrepreneurship, and so that's like pretty interesting. And I think it's generally it can be competitive if you surround yourself around competitive people, but generally I think the environment is pretty collaborative. But the one thing I will like know is that you no one's gonna like handhold you like through like university. Like no one's gonna like just give you an internship or like give you like tell you exactly which resources to do. You kind of have to like find that path for yourself and then be resourceful and like try to like take the opportunities you can get.
Yeah, there's also a question in the chat from Macy. She says like, if I'm interested in computer science and art, what should I major in?
Well, most colleges do offer the option to major in multiple things. Like you can major in computer science and major in art as well, or you can do like a minor in one of them. So I would suggest like, I don't know, picking the one you're more interested in, but also making sure that you mention that the other one is something that you're interested in applying to as well. And something that you really want to pursue when you get into college.
Yeah, and I have a friend who's actually interested in computer science and art, and I think they want to go into like animation, like digital animation, like they're like coding behind like animation for like movies and stuff like that. So I think there's actually a program at UPenn like specifically for computer science and art, and she's in that program and she really likes it. So yeah, I would recommend checking that out.
Another question is like, how did you know like your university or your program was the right fit for you?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to visit a lot of universities the summer before I started applying. Being from the Bay Area, I visited like all the UCs pretty much. And my family actually went to the East Coast that summer, and I got to visit like UPenn, NYU, Cornell, and among other stuff. And of all the universities that I went to, I think when I like stepped foot on Cornell's campus, I could actually picture myself going to that school. I could like see myself walking down the streets and like walking in between classes. And it's not something that I really saw in the other school. Not to say that I wouldn't have been happy at any other school, but I just saw myself going there. And that's kind of what influenced me to apply like ED and binding. Um, but I think like if you have the opportunity to visit or like even take campus tours or go like visit one of their info sessions, I would definitely recommend it because that's something that helped me a lot with like figuring out where I wanted to go and what type of school I was looking for because I didn't know until I actually visited some of the schools that I didn't want to be in an urban setting and I wanted to be more of like a traditional college experience where it's just a college and nothing else around you. So yeah, that's my experience.
I actually had like the opposite experience. I didn't visit Berkeley at all before like um applying or attending. Like moving here like last August or like this August was like my first time like in Berkeley. Like and I would like we got college decisions, like my year got college decisions during like COVID, so we didn't have a chance to like visit. And like on top of that, like I was also on the wait list, so I also like couldn't visit like times two. So I I guess like I kind of just took a like leap of faith for Berkeley. Yeah, I honestly didn't see myself going here before, but here I am now. And I honestly think I really like I just I feel like I like vibe with people here. And yeah, that's it.
Someone asked on the form, they said they're curious about the computer science program. So like what has your experience been like at your university? How is the program structured? Like the difficulty of the program, your view on professors, etc.
So for me, computer science is listed under two different colleges within the university, and both of those colleges have different requirements. And so I'm in the College of Engineering, but I have friends who are majoring in computer science, but they're in the College of Arts and Sciences. So like for computer science in general, there's a list of requirements that you have to take. Like you have to take like intro to computing, you have to take like Java, algorithms, just like a list of classes like that. In addition to that, you also need to do an external specialization. So you need to take 3 classes in a subject that's not related to CS at all. So my external specialization is in education, but other people have done it in like biology, math, information sciences, whatever. And that's like specific to computer science, but depending on your colleges, there's also different requirements as well. So for example, in the College of Engineering, you need to take chemistry, physics, and some math courses. But in the College of Arts and Sciences, you need to take a language and you need to do certain liberal arts. And so it's very like college specific. Um, I would say that I think the computer science program at Cornell is pretty highly rated, so there's no getting around that it is hard. And like people do struggle a lot the first few like semesters. I know I definitely did, and it wasn't until my junior year that I actually like found my footing and like got a hang of things. Um, but even though it's hard, there's so many resources. There's like we have a tutoring center. You can always talk to your professors. All of them are very approachable. And specifically, like the TAs are what really help me out. The TAs are like other students who are helping out with the course, either by writing discussion sections or office hours. And so I think like the program is pretty difficult, but there's a lot of support that'll help you with it if you just go out and look for it.
Yeah, I feel like Berkeley is actually structured in a similar way. We also have 2 computer science programs. We have letters and sciences and engineering. For us, it's actually the both programs are pretty similar. You have to take the same computer science courses. It's just like outside of computer science, liberal letters and science take more liberal arts classes, and College of Engineering takes more, um, like I guess like math, science, that type of classes. And I guess our majors also like has a different name. Like for engineering, it's electrical engineering, computer science, and for literature science, it's just computer science. Um, and yeah, so basically, I think the way that our curriculum is structured is that like generally, I think it starts at like a high level like Python, and it kind of goes like deeper into like the like I guess like the like computer software. So it goes into so we do like Python, Java, and then C, and then we go to like assembly, and then like hard, and then also like and then like near like hardware languages and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a really like interesting approach to like approach like CS like that. In terms of difficulty, it is pretty difficult. I think like one thing about like university is that they teach everything as if it was review. I don't think it's just like a Berkeley thing, but I I think it's a yeah, Sherwood agrees. But yeah, they teach everything like it's review, even though like this is your like first time ever hearing it. So that can be kind of like hard to like keep up with, but they also that's why they have like discussions, like office hours, tutoring, and so many other services.
Okay. So I think you guys mentioned on like how your programs are really difficult and how it might be difficult to like find your footing in like especially your first year. So what do you think are some things that might have helped you, or maybe like time management advice you can give?
So I would say 2 things help me class-wise. So the first thing is to find other people who are in your classes and like form study groups. That's extremely helpful. And like the good thing is that everyone there is like looking to meet new people and everyone is looking to like succeed in classes. So you will find people to study with like easy. And then the other thing is to ask for help when you need it. This is something that I struggled with a lot, specifically because in high school, I didn't really have much experience. Like I could do most of the things by myself, but like here, I kind of found that I can't do everything by myself. And so it was really important for me to ask help from TAs, from like the professor, from my friends, and things like that. And so I would say that's pretty important in like succeeding in your classes. Just know when to ask for help and do it when you need to. Um, as for time management, I think for me personally, Google Calendar is just like the best thing to ever happen. I use it all the time. If it's not on my Google Calendar, like I won't go to the event and I won't do it. And so that's like something that I didn't do in high school, but I've been using now and it's been extremely helpful. And personally, I also really like having an agenda and a planner just to write lists of things that I need to do. Um, but again, like this varies from person to person. That's just what I found helps me the most.
Yeah, I just second everything she just said. All of her advice is great. Yeah, I think one thing you have to realize when you get to college is like, unless you're like a like super genius, like computer science person, like you cannot like do everything by yourself. You're gonna need help on like projects. You're gonna need help on like problem sets. Even if you are like super smart, there's gonna be at least like one bug like you can't like figure out by yourself, or like one problem that you're gonna be like stuck on like forever. So I think you can like try to do everything yourself, but like I don't think that's the most like beneficial or time efficient. Like in college, you're gonna be very busy. You need to like be very like mindful of your time. And sometimes like trying to like solve a problem, like spend like 10 hours trying to solve a problem by yourself is like not worth it when you could just like work in a study group and like solve it within like 1 or 2 hours. So being mindful of like your time by like working in groups and like making sure like you reach out for help when you need it is really important. And I also like use Google Calendar. I didn't use Google Calendar in high school, but like now I use it religiously. Like I can't live without it. If it disappears, like I will not know any of my responsibilities for that day.
Another question is like, what are your options after graduating from your program, and like, what are some possible career pathways you can take?
Yeah, so I think there's always the option of doing a master's in grad school. Cornell has a specific program called an MEng, which is a 1 year master program, and a lot of kids they like graduate earlier, they graduate a semester early, and they can finish off the MEng within 4 years. They also have like an engineering management program as well. But this is if you like want to do more academic stuff. I think otherwise with like a computer science degree, you can like do software engineering roles or like data engineering, whatever like you want to do.
Yeah, so I feel like the like I guess like typical pathway for people here like studying computer science is to go to industry after graduation. So usually that means like becoming a software engineer. There are other like options like security engineer, data scientist. So just which are like more specific like concentrations. Another thing that's really popular here is like going to like product management, which is basically like the I don't know how to explain it like specifically, but it's kind of like going to like the it's like business and like CS combined. Like you're focused more on like the product and like designing like not only do you like know like technical specs like that, you also like think about like the like audience that's going to be used for like specific specifications in that way. You combine your like technical knowledge with like consumer knowledge. And also a lot of people go into research, so people go into like PhD programs to like study what they want more, and also some people go into computer science education to learn more about like how to like teach computer science better or like start their own initiatives in that way. And also people like create their own startups.
Yeah. And also just like a reminder that participants, you guys can like ask whatever you want, and our panelists can answer them. Like it can literally be anything, even if it's personal, like that's why they're here. But also another question that's like not really program specific, but what advice would you give to like maybe high school students who are having trouble deciding what they want to pursue in the future?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I had trouble deciding. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. When I was in high school, I was in a robotics team, so I thought I wanted to do something robotics related. Um, and then I like came to college and I decided to go like nothing related to robotics. So I think like the best way you can go about doing it is just try to like get as much experience as you can in what you're interested in or like what you think you might be interested in. And that could mean like taking classes or like watching Khan Academy videos or like more hands-on experience, like joining different clubs. Um, I think that's personally what helped me the most was just joining different clubs and seeing what I was interested in and what made me excited.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think the best way to figure out what you're interested in is just try everything. Like just try everything at least once. Explore like the different clubs and opportunities that you have, and like try to like eliminate things based on that. And I think the best way to tell if like something like interests you or for you if it like energizes you, like if after building a coding project you feel energized, like maybe like that's a science, computer science, or like software engineering that's for you. And yeah, so I think you should just have to like go with your gut feeling, try everything and like go with your gut feeling.
Also a question in the chat from Victor. Are contest scores a big factor in admissions?
Can you elaborate what you mean by contest scores?
So I'm assuming like when you like what you get on certain things, like or Victor, you can elaborate on your question in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure like contests from like Waterloo, such as like Euclid, CCC, AMC in America. Pretty sure he's talking about those types of contests.
Yeah, I didn't participate in any of those. So I'm not sure. I think I I'm sure if you like do it, they'll take it into account, but I personally didn't participate in any contests or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't really have any like significant contest scores. So it is like proof that you can get in without like having like prior like contest experience or like having like really big scores, I guess. But I do have peers who have done it and like scored like really highly, and they're also here. So take that, um, take that however you want.
Yeah, I'm sure like even if you probably didn't do that great, you still did it, which would probably help as well, right? Also, I think this might be our last question, and then we can go back to the main room. But do you have any specific advice on like project building or portfolios or anything like that?
My main advice is to attend hackathons. I think hackathons are a really good way to motivate yourself to build a project. Because like I don't know about like you guys, but like I feel like if I try to build a project like on my own time, I'm always like, oh, like I don't have time. Like I have like other like assignments or school work to do. And it's like hard to like find like time or motivation. But like if you're like attend a hackathon, you're like given a specific period of time to like build something. And that like forces you to like actually create something. And then you can add that project to your portfolio. And I think that really helps.
Yeah. So adding on to that, I just see like another question in the chat about hackathons, like experience. I definitely agree. Hackathons are a great experience. You don't need to have any knowledge going into one. I think it's like a great way for you to learn how to use specific technologies. So for example, in my first hackathon that I attended, it was like my sophomore year of college, and me and my partners wanted to build an app, but like none of us knew how to build an app. And like we didn't know how to program an app. We didn't even know like the first thing about like building an app. And so we like watched a lot of YouTube videos, and by the end of it, we like kind of knew how to build an app. So you really have to know like no experience. Um, but like adding on to the question about building your portfolio, um, like they also don't need to be tech specific projects. I think it's just something that like you are interested in. Like if you have a community project that you are really passionate about, like revamping a shelter's garden or something like that, I think that's also a great way to build up your resume and like your skills as well. Just to like show that you have like a lot of things that you're interested in besides just technology.
Okay, and last chance for anyone to like ask anything before we head back. But if not, is there anything you two want to add on just like advice or anything you would tell anyone that's listening right now? If not, we can go back to the main room. So thank you so much for coming.